The Book of Deuteronomy, the fifth book of the Bible, is a crucial text in both Judaism and Christianity. It serves as a concluding and reflective book, summarizing and reiterating many of the laws, commandments, and teachings found in the preceding books of the Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. Here is an explanation of the Book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy can be divided into four key sections. An introduction and historical review, Deuteronomy 1-4. The commandments and laws, Deuteronomy 5-26. A covenant renewal, Deuteronomy 27-30. Farewell address and leadership transition, Deuteronomy 31-34. The book begins with Moses addressing the Israelites on the plains of Moab. He provides a historical review, reminding them of their journey from Egypt, the giving of the law at Sinai, and various other events that have shaped their identity as a people. Deuteronomy 1-4 serves as the introduction to the book, setting the stage for Moses' final address to the Israelites before they enter the Promised Land. Moses recounts their journey from Mount Sinai to the border of Canaan, reminding them of past events, including the appointment of leaders and the sending of spies into the land. He emphasizes the importance of obedience to God's commands and recounts God's faithfulness despite the Israelites' rebelliousness. Moses urges the people to remember God's covenant and to obey his laws as they prepare to possess the land promised to their ancestors. These chapters lay the foundation for the rest of Deuteronomy, which consists largely of Moses' speeches, exhortations, and instructions to the Israelites as they transition into a settled life in the land of Canaan. This central section of Deuteronomy reiterates and expands upon many of the laws and commandments found in the earlier books of the Torah. It includes the 10 Commandments, ethical guidelines, and regulations for worship, justice, and daily life. Special attention is given to the Shema, Deuteronomy 6 verses 4-5, which affirms the oneness of God and the importance of loving Him with all one's heart, soul, and strength. Deuteronomy 5-26 comprises Moses' exposition of the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Israelites are to observe as they prepare to enter and inhabit the Promised Land. These chapters encapsulate a range of instructions covering ethical conduct, social justice, worship practices, and ceremonial regulations. Chapter 5 begins with the reiteration of the 10 Commandments, emphasizing the covenantal relationship between God and His people. Subsequent chapters outline additional laws and regulations, including guidelines for governance, the establishment of cities of refuge, principles for warfare, and instructions for the celebration of festivals and rituals. Moses stresses the importance of obeying these laws as a demonstration of loyalty to God and as a means of securing prosperity and blessings in the land. He also warns of the consequences of disobedience, including exile and dispersion among the nations. Overall, Deuteronomy 5-26 serves as a comprehensive guide for righteous living and communal harmony, emphasizing the centrality of devotion to God and adherence to His commandments in the life of the Israelite nation. Moses emphasizes the renewal of the covenant between God and the Israelites. He instructs them to set up stones with the law written on them, blesses those who obey the covenant, and warns of the consequences of disobedience. He also foretells future blessings and curses that will befall the nation based on their faithfulness or faithlessness. Deuteronomy 27-30 contains Moses' final address to the Israelites before they enter the Promised Land. In these chapters, Moses outlines blessings and curses that will result from obedience or disobedience to God's commands. Chapter 27 describes the ritual of pronouncing blessings and curses upon Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim, symbolizing the covenantal commitment of the Israelites to follow God's laws. Chapter 28 details the blessings that will come upon the Israelites if they obey God's commandments and the curses that will befall them if they disobey. These blessings and curses serve as a means of reinforcing the importance of obedience and loyalty to God's covenant. In chapter 29, Moses reiterates the covenant between God and the Israelites, reminding them of the miraculous events they witnessed and urging them to remain faithful to God. Chapter 30 offers a message of hope and redemption, presenting the possibility of repentance and restoration even after disobedience. Moses encourages the Israelites to choose life by obeying God's commands, promising that God will bless them and their descendants if they turn back to Him with all their hearts. Overall, Deuteronomy 27-30 serves as a powerful exhortation for the Israelites to remain faithful to God's covenant, emphasizing the importance of obedience, loyalty, and repentance as they prepare to enter and inhabit the Promised Land. In these final chapters, Moses gives his farewell address to the Israelites, knowing that he will not enter the Promised Land. He commissions Joshua as his successor and blesses the tribes of Israel. The book concludes with the account of Moses' death on Mount Nebo, overlooking the land God promised to the Israelites. Deuteronomy 31-34 marks the conclusion of Moses' leadership and the transition of leadership to Joshua as the Israelites prepare to enter the Promised Land. In Deuteronomy 31, Moses reassures the Israelites of God's presence and faithfulness, even after his death. He commissions Joshua as his successor and entrusts him with leading the Israelites into the Promised Land. Chapter 32 contains Moses' song, a poetic reflection on God's faithfulness and the consequences of disobedience. The song serves as a reminder of God's covenant and the need for the Israelites to remain faithful to Him. In Deuteronomy 33, Moses blesses the 12 tribes of Israel before his death, pronouncing specific blessings and prophecies over each tribe. Chapter 34 records the death of Moses on Mount Nebo and concludes with a eulogy praising Moses as a prophet and servant of God. It emphasizes that no prophet like Moses had arisen in Israel, highlighting his unique relationship with God. Overall, Deuteronomy 31-34 marks the end of an era as Moses passes the mantle of leadership to Joshua. These chapters underscore themes of faithfulness, obedience, and the importance of remembering God's covenant as the Israelites prepare to enter the Promised Land without their beloved leader. Key themes and significance: covenant and obedience. Deuteronomy underscores the importance of the covenant between God and the Israelites, emphasizing obedience to God's commandments as the means to maintain their covenant relationship and secure God's blessings. Remembering God's faithfulness. The book repeatedly emphasizes the need for the Israelites to remember God's faithfulness, the miracles He performed, and the guidance He provided throughout their history. This memory serves as a foundation for their ongoing trust in God. Love for God. Deuteronomy introduces the concept of loving God with all one's heart, soul, and strength, encapsulated in the Shema. This command becomes central to Jewish theology and spirituality. Blessings and curses. The book outlines blessings that will come with obedience and curses that will result from disobedience. This serves as both an incentive for faithfulness and a warning against faithlessness. Leadership transition. Deuteronomy marks the transition of leadership from Moses to Joshua, setting the stage for the Israelites' entry into the Promised Land under Joshua's leadership. In conclusion, Deuteronomy is a significant book in the Bible because it encapsulates the core teachings of the Torah and provides a summary of the covenantal relationship between God and the Israelites. It underscores the importance of faith, obedience, and remembrance of God's faithfulness. The book's themes and messages continue to have theological and ethical significance in both Judaism and Christianity, shaping religious beliefs and practices. Now I invite any questions or comments you may have. Let's delve deeper into the fascinating world of Deuteronomy together. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the book of Deuteronomy. Have an amazing day, and please don't forget to give a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you can stay up to date on all my new videos about the living word. God bless you all.